The Dogs on Call program at the VCU Medical Center has been on hold for the past year due to the pandemic, but it's now coming back. In this week's You Are Not Alone, our Tracy Sears reports on a new study the program is about to take on.
The dogs really have a sense of this person needs me.
It's been a year since Maggie has been able to see her friends at VCU Medical Center.
We were so excited that we were back in the program again.
We even brought out the vest and Maggie was ears up like, oh my!
VCU's Dogs on Call program came to an abrupt halt in March of 2020 with the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. Unfortunately, it happened at a time when the company and affection of animals were needed most.
Healthcare workers especially need us to be back in the hospital. I've seen firsthand what our teams do and the difference that they make. And I tell you, there are times when there is not a dry eye in the room. It is incredibly impactful in that moment.
Whether visiting doctors and nurses, med students, or sick patients, the stories told by the dog's owners over the years all share the same sentiment.
They make a difference that is entirely intangible.
Pam Okenwright, with her mixed terrier Beckett, says serving young patients was as beneficial to her as it was the children.
But she loves children, and once we got here and we started at the Children's Pavilion in the oncology clinic, we realized that this was where we belonged.
I certainly could relate to Maggie walking into those rooms and watching those patients smile from ear to ear and just feel relieved to have something besides a nurse coming into the room.
Until the pandemic, George and Beth Adams visited the hospital twice a week because they saw the impact Maggie was having, and not just with the patients.
And another time, there was a rush of a gurney with doctors getting a patient into a room. And as they ran by, they said, you stay right there, we'll be right back. And as soon as they had the patient settled, they came back, sat on the floor and said, bring the dog to me. And Maggie just curled right up.
Dr. Nancy G. is director of VCU's Center for Human-Animal Interaction, which houses the Dogs on Call program. She says studies prove that animal companionship decreases cortisol levels, which is a stress hormone, but increases levels of oxytocin, the bonding feel-good hormone.
So when a human looks at a dog and you look into their eyes, that's when we release oxytocin. But what is amazing about this relationship, this bond that we share with animals, is so do they.
Now, thanks to a $50,000 grant from Mars Pet Care, the center is embarking on a new study to see the impact that dogs have on seniors in rehabilitation centers.
As you can imagine, during the pandemic, loneliness is an issue. But even before the pandemic, loneliness was considered to be at epidemic proportions.
It's just one reason the Adams say they're excited to get back to work. With Maggie having just one minor reservation.
That's the only part Maggie doesn't like about the program, it's the bath.
But even a bath seems all worth it in the end.
It just really touches our hearts to be involved with this program here.
VCU's Human-Animal Interaction program is the only center of its kind based in a medical school. If you'd like to become a part of this program, or if you'd like to make a donation in honor of or in memory of a beloved pet, you can log on to our website at WTVR.com to find out how. For You Are Not Alone, I'm Tracy Sears.